16 August 2025, 13:33 hours Eastern Daylight Time. Today, I thought I would give my horology subscribers some love and attention. Hence, I am pairing up my Seiko Pogue with my 1959 reissue custom shop Gibson Les Paul standard guitar with the dirty lemon sunburst top. The watch and the guitar perfectly match each other, and they're similar not only by the way of their colors, but in their dynamic behaviors when activated by the light. When activated by the light, especially sunlight, these two objects burst and they come to life. I've had the Seiko Pogue since I was 10 years old, and it is in mint condition, all OEM parts. 2nd of August 2025, I turned 61 years old, 61 years old, and I've had this watch since I was 10 years old. By way of background, when I turned 10 years old back in 1970-something, my mom and my dad asked me what I wanted for a birthday present, and I responded, I wanted a Seiko watch. My father retorted with a question, "Are you sure you don't want the G.I. Joe with the lifelike hair and kung fu action grip?" Immediately, I answered unequivocally, "No, Pappy, I want a Seiko watch." My father served 30 years in the U.S. Navy, 30 years in the U.S. Navy. So when he knew I wanted a Seiko watch for my 10th birthday, he and my mom went to the military base, to the PX, and they purchased the Seiko Pogue for me. Back then, in 1970-something, this watch cost $70 US. This year, my girlfriend turned 28 years old, so I took her to Le Bernardin restaurant in Manhattan, New York City, New York. It's located on the 100 block of West 58th. I don't remember the exact address, but it's one of my favorite restaurants, and it's her favorite restaurant, so I took her there. As we were having our dessert, this very nice couple, a man and his wife, approached me. He asked me, "Is that a Seiko Pogue?" And I confirmed that it was. And after I confirmed that it was, I gave him a little history about it. He then offered to purchase it from me for $2,500 US. I kindly and respectfully declined the offer. I have many high-end luxury wrist timepieces, and I have no problems in letting any of those wrist timepieces go. But this Seiko Pogue will not leave me. I am sentimentally attached to this wrist timepiece, and unless the Trinity wills me to give it up, I will follow their will in righteousness and give it up. But until then, this Seiko Pogue stays with me. Elvis Presley is my favorite vocalist and performer. He wore a black leather band with his watch. Nina Rind is my favorite runway fashion model, and she wore a brown leather band with her watch. Hence, when I saw these two people wearing buns for their watches, I had to get one for my Seiko Pogue. So I told my father I wanted to replace the OEM steel band on my Seiko Pogue with a leather band that Elvis Presley wore. So my father took me to the military PX. I had saved approximately $5.50 to purchase the leather band, and I saved that money through my 50-cent a week allowance that my mom and my dad gave me. I really wanted the black one, the black bun that looked like Elvis's. It was black, it was wide, and it had two straps. But it cost back then $12, and I didn't have enough money, so I settled for this brown one. My father complimented me on the fact that I saved money and I purchased what I wanted with the money that I saved. As we drove home, he was asking me some questions in the car. He asked me, "You really wanted the black one, didn't you?" And I said, "Yes." And he says, but you couldn't afford it, so you settled for the brown one. And I said, yes. And he said, what I want you to do from now on, you will never have to settle again. I want you to buy what you want. And if you do not have the money to buy what you want, I do not want you to buy anything. You will legally work hard to earn the money, save it, and always buy what you want. Never settle. Since then, I have never, ever settled. I always purchased what I wanted. My father was my mentor. He taught me and worked with me to prepare me for success in life. Without him, I wouldn't have the financial strength that I have today. I wouldn't have the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual strength that I have today in order to make it in this world. I miss him dearly, but he's always with me, and I feel that he's always looking after me. I thank God every day for blessing me with my father and my mom and my sister. As a seasoned and highly trained tennis player, blisters are not uncommon to me. My tennis coaches always said, wrap it up and play through the pain. That's the only way you're going to develop a callus. Hence, I applied that principle from tennis to my guitar playing. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I took on thumping and selective finger picking. And while thumping for the first time, I established a blister on my thumb in this area right here. And like the blisters I get from playing tennis, I cut the blister open, I drained it, and I cut the skin around it. Like my tennis, I wrapped up my thumb with medical tape. I played through the searing, stinging pain, and I finally developed a callus on my thumb. Now I can thump without using the medical tape, and I'm ready to go. Thank you, Adidas, for sending me this wristband. I do not wear wristbands when I play tennis, but now that I'm playing guitar, I need to have the Adidas logo present on my videos, and this wristband satisfies that requirement. Today, for my thumping and selective finger picking exercises, I am working on the following. Striking accuracy. So the goal of my exercise with striking accuracy is to avoid hitting the E string above my target string, which is the fifth string called the A string. The second part of this exercise is to do my finger picking without exposing my fingers past my second knuckle. I define the second knuckle as the knuckle where my fingers bend. The next part of this exercise, I keep my fingers from spreading apart while I pick. So I want to make sure that the spacing between my fingers are close together. I'm also making sure that I'm getting clean notes with my thumping as well as with my finger picking. And finally, I want to make sure that my right hand is hovering slightly above the strings. I don't want my right hand to veer off too high from the strings. For my left hand, I am working on harmonics. I'm creating harmonics on the A string, the D string, the G string, the B string, and the high E string on the 12th fret. My goal is to get clean notes through thumping, finger picking, and harmonics 10 times in a row. If I don't get 10 times in a row, I start over until I can do it 10 times in a row. Although I need more practice, more work, and more refinement, I'm happy with my progress so far. The speed's beginning to come along, and I'm also hitting my notes a lot cleaner.